I remember raging at it when I played it when I was like 14.
Because like, okay, the final boss, Kyle, was spoilers, Travis's stepsister. And and the thing is that she has a 3-phase thing where she does a super attack where it dashes at you. Phase 1 it only dashes once. Phase 2 it dashes twice. Done, done. And then dashes 3 times in the 3rd phase. Done, 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 kind of thing. Travis's can dodge, but his dodge is so slow and terrible that dodging doesn't even help you. It just makes you get in line of sight of her. That's it. I basically was struggling in that fight not getting hit, basically. I couldn't outrun her speed. I couldn't dodge her speed. I just had to get lucky that she misses me. That's it. And that was the infuriating part of the fight, was just her attacking a lot. That was the infuriating part of it.
Yeah, some of the fights in that game are pretty brutal. It's been like over 10 years for me, but
yeah, I'm
you should put Carl Stash B or Stat what was it Stash what did I call it again?
Body Slam technically.
Pika Stash Carl. I should put it on screen for good luck while playing No More Heroes.
Give me a second as I boot it
I'm
up.
just trying to draw Brolaby.
Brolaby?
Yeah, but the issue here though is that I don't know if it's possible to draw Celebi's eyes in DBZ style.
Try it. You try it, Carl.
I'm looking at like Goku's, like the Saiyan's eyes.
Oh, cool.
They're very simple actually, but it doesn't fit.
Okay, good. My capture card's working. Ugh. For a second, I thought it wasn't working. Right now, I can use my actual new setup I have. Why can't I hear myself? Yeah. What? That was weird. It's the No More Heroes now? Oh yeah.
Oh gosh, this Celebi looks super pissed off.
Broly?
I mean, both Broly and Celebi right now look super pissed off.
Brawlaby.
Brolaby.
What
What the frick?
Alright, with my current setup, I'm gonna have to reverse this.
Why does this work?
Why? What works?
Why does this face work?
What? Brawlies?
No, the way that I'm drawing Celebi's.
You know, I have no idea.
Okay, the mouth works, actually. Surprisingly well.
Alright, the reason why I haven't even gone to the secret ending is because I have to fight a immediate boss for it. And it's a really annoying. And Night Sick has its own strategy guide. Are you kidding me? Really? Wow. How far have you played this game, actually, on your own?
I've beaten it.
Like 100%?
I beat the game when I played it, yeah.
Like, to the secret ending or to the normal ending?
Oh yeah, I think I remember what you're talking about. I think I got the secret ending, like the true ending of the game.
Okay. Yeah, because that final fight is.
That's right.
annoying.
Doesn't the game totally fake you out and you get like some stupid ending where Travis is like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" If you do it wrong.
I never seen the normal ending because I was just gonna get a true ending, but I probably will view it just in case, just to see how it is.
I'm trying to remember, and I think it gives you some fake out ending where it's clear that you got the wrong ending because Travis is just like genuinely mad at the end. He's like, "This is bullshit, man," or something along those lines.
I technically did finish the story, but I haven't viewed an ending yet. But because I already got like all the requirements to get the true ending, technically speaking, this is like post-game stuff in a sense, I would say. So right now it's just me. Where's the? Oops. What? It's just me trying to get to the secret ending, which is literally battling a boss. And the boss is extremely difficult, and in order to do the boss, I need a lot of upgrades, and in order to get those upgrades, I need a lot of money. So, time to grind a little bit.
I can't believe I'm researching freaking DBZ or Dragon Ball mouths from multiple angles. Because the way they scream. This is actually kind of hard. I don't know how am I... Oh god.
Shoot, I don't even know what, was it Gold Town? It was Gold Town. But yeah, I'm gonna be attempting this, at least the secret ending. It's only one battle, right, Kyle?
I have no idea. I don't remember.
Oh, no worries, Shed. I hope you feel better.
God, this game does like the Eye of the Tiger parodies. I guess this is like the late 2000s when Eye of the Tiger, I feel like, was just trending like everywhere.
Yeah.
Because it was in like Rock Band and stuff too.
Yeah. Eye of the Tiger is the thrill of the night.
Some of those really generic 80s rock songs, I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
Eye of the Tiger and The Final Countdown are like my pet peeve songs of that era.
Really?
I like Final Countdown.
I just find them boring. Like the riffs are not particularly interesting. It's like how people are so into like Smoke on the Water because it's just like it's like the song every guitar beginner learns. But Smoke on the Water is like one of Deep Purple's worst songs probably. They have so many like cooler songs.
You know, honestly,
Survivor and Europe were just kind of one-hit wonders, I think, with those two singles.
you know, with Eye of the Tiger, I kind of like it, but it had to grow on me for a little bit. Final Countdown was definitely a song that I kind of grew tired of hearing over and over again, to be honest. Like
It just became the like hype sports moment song.
Yeah, no, it literally is overused a lot to a point where I kind of just don't care about it anymore.
Eye of the Tiger became a hit because he was used in Rocky, right? Was the Final Countdown, was that in like a sports movie, or like is that how that song took off? I'm not really sure.
Oh yeah,
actually.
Rocky is the Eye of the Tiger. Yep. Also, yeah, same thing. What Space said. Shed, if you need to get an ambulance, let us know, or let somebody know. I really hope that Shed's gonna feel better. Well, yeah, the reason why I'm spending like a long time with No More Heroes is because the last few boss fights ended up just making things very frustrating, and I kind of just want to over level myself to a point where I don't have to struggle with the final boss. Because I was fighting the secret boss for a little bit, and it took me like what 10 minutes to barely get to half health, and I was just like already tired. I was already fed up with the game, to be honest, at that point. But I'll probably give my reviews of this game. I honestly, this is a very not a good intro to the series of the series. Like if you're trying to get into No More Heroes playing the first game, I would honestly say don't do it. Going to Krogan, at least the second one was better. Like way better. Wait, did you ever play the second one, Kyle?
I've never played No More Heroes 2.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
I just looked it up, and yeah, I have Tigers from Rocky, but the final countdown has never been used in any movie. The song was written so that the keyboard like could be like an opener as like the band Europe was like starting their concerts. It was meant to be like a concert opening song,
Really?
and then it became a big hit at like sporting events to like hype the crowds.
It's the final countdown.
Also, that band is from Sweden, which I never knew. But I guess it makes sense that they're called Europe because they're from Europe.
You know, I keep forgetting that that the band is called Europe, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, I guess it's one of those times when bands are just naming themselves after places. Boston, Europe.
Boston. This song compilation. What was the intro like, Carl?
I like Boston though. As far as Boston songs go,
Like-
you can play More Than a Feeling all you want.
Yeah, you know the. No. Like you know when we played Best of Boston, Carl, in our high school band. Remember that?
That was a while ago.
I know it's been a while, but it's one of my favorite memories that I'll never forget. But when the Best of Boston played, like there was a intro lick that they said on like the speakers, and even at the beginning of the song that they said Boston. This song is consisted of blah 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 and all that stuff, and then we started playing.
Honestly, I didn't pay attention to those
Oh,
because
Chicago is the band.
was-
That's right. I was trying to think of more.
That's also
I was just really cold, typically during the football games, and it's like, can I just go home? And also
Bands
hungry.
named after places.
You were
Boston.
cold during like in our band uniforms, the ones that
Yeah.
caused us to be
Yes.
really hot.
Well, no, because like whenever it rains, it's like it sucks, man.
That's true.
Like honestly, it doesn't actually provide enough warmth for me personally, especially since I don't have much fat. Like at the time.
Are you calling me fat? I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Dual full. Oh, that's right. There's a band called Asia as well. Yeah.
Really? Oh, that's weird. No, for me, the Shakos always
Naming themselves after continents.
Yeah, that's true.
There's that song called Africa by Toto, but I don't think there's a band called Africa.
That I was like extremely hot into Shakos, and it always itched my head, Carl. And the band uniforms would always get to me, like it just make me really cooked.
Overcooked.
Yeah.
yeah, so yeet that trumpet.
Yeah.
I
don't
mean,
want to eat
I
the
didn't
trumpet
go to
like
a
Sean
booth
did,
school with
though.
a super serious band, so when we actually did marching type stuff at our football games in my junior and senior year, we would just wear like jeans and our band t-shirts. So we didn't have like a steamy hot uniform to wear.
Glad you got your meds, Shed. I'm glad that everything's fine. Also, percussionist? Wait, Space, are you a percussionist? Because I'm not
I wish I
against
could
the
play a drum
percussionist.
set,
That's
that'd be
actually
cool.
pretty interesting. What's your favorite percussion instrument?
Triangle.
Like, okay, so to give you context of what kind of instruments we played, Carl and I actually all played trumpet together. Like, not together. No, Carl and I played trumpet together. Kyle,
It's an alternate universe.
in an alternate universe, we all played the same instrument. All of us played clarinets in the alternate universe.
And we all play triangles.
Dude, if there was an actual just triangle instrument, then that'd be funny.
I think I remember in high school we had one percussionist who had like a triangle part in one piece that we were playing for like, you know, like Wind Symphony type stuff.
Yep.
And it just became an inside joke because our band teacher had to keep telling him to hold the triangle up a little bit higher to like improve his posture and get more sound out of it. So he kept being like, Josh, hold that triangle up, keep that triangle up, like every day. And at the end of the school year, he got the award for keep that triangle up.
Yeah, we are talking about band instruments while I grind, so it's perfectly reasonable. Yeah, it's like I played marching snare through high school and part of university. Oh, that's nice. Actually, snares is pretty cool. You play flute, Shed? I know that Justin actually played flute, even though I keep thinking he played clarinet.
Why did I keep thinking that too? Probably because you say it.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Actually, wait, I imagine Justin to be a clarinet. No, a flute. No, a clarinet kind of guy as well.
Yeah, no, but here's the thing. Probably one of the biggest reasons why is because like he went to the same high school as one of my actual other friends. One of my first friends when I came back to Washington. And he went to that high school and he was in the exact same band, and I knew him when we started playing together for that Seahawks game. And he played clarinet. So he's also Asian, so it's probably just a combination of, yeah.
Well, no, the funny thing about that is that we had Asian male clarinet players in my high school band too. That's why I'm laughing.
Yeah, so here's the thing. We, like, when it comes to Asians, a lot of us associate us in our band as, like, wind instrument players, to be honest. Like, Carl, you understand that, right?
Also, the whole time I was in high school and middle school combined, like, there was only one male flute player ever.
Oh, that sounds like our band too. There was only one male flute. There was always like
Yeah,
females
it's just
for us.
perceived as a feminine instrument. It doesn't necessarily have to be. But...
Yeah. It was like in our high school, a lot of times when you're Asian and you say like, you play instrument, people instantly say, you play piano or do you play the violin? And it's like, no. Like,
I guess so. I mean, remember School of Rock? The Asian boy was a piano player.
yeah.
He got taught to play keyboard.
There were like 20. I was one of the 3 flutes in the entire school. Wow, that's very small. There were like 25 clarinets. Now I hate them. Oh, that sucks.
Clarinet's a popular instrument. Yeah.
Flute's cool. Yeah, flute is cool. So yeah.
My clarinet, so
So Space and Shed, you don't know about this because I mentioned this on stream before, but so Carl and I went to the same high school, and our high school is a really big high school. So it's a AAA high school. So it had like about 1,000 students in our high school.
Oh well, my high school is bigger than that actually.
Really? Is it a quad A?
I don't know. I just went to a crap school, dude.
Yeah. Well,
I probably just lived in a bigger city area than you, because I mean, didn't you like?
we lived on an island.
Never mind. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I was gonna say you grew up on an actual island, right?
Yep.
Well, that would play a role then, because I grew up on land.
Yep. So our high school had like a bit over 1,000 students, and funny enough, our high school band, literally no joke, would take up about a fourth to a third of the high school. Like,
Oh wow, that's a totally different culture than my school.
yeah, so like if you went to our high school, there is a 1 in 3 chance for a good chunk. Yeah, here your school, yeah. There's 1 in 3 chance that you actually meet one of the band members in our school. And that's just
Wow.
band. That's not including choir and orchestra, which are decent chunks. And it's funny because we also our high school went to the Rose Bowl, a very, very prestige thing that only very select schools actually are able to go to in the entire world. And
Bush.
yeah, Bush. And it's funny enough because I remember when we went there to the Rose Bowl, many parents at the Rose Bowl when we were performing our piece about Best of Boston, Carl.
Yeah.
Many parents were like, "Is this a high school?" It's like, that's too many kids to be in the high school. It's like, yeah, like to be honest, our band was like 300 plus students, and it was like the
Lord.
second largest band in the entire parade and the bowl.
Wow. I feel like the entire music department put together in my high school by the time I graduated was probably like a little over 100 people.
Yeah, like
But also we were very much like a subculture that was not like respected by the rest of the student body.
our band was so respected that we got like remodeled our own band and everything. Like,
Nobody was proud of anything in my high school. Everybody's just kind of assholes to each other.
Yeah, we at the Rose Bowl, we were like we were only rivaled by a like I think a actual university band, so it was actually kind of funny.
Dude, like the training was super tough though.
Yeah, the training was super tough, but honestly, Carl, it was really fun in the
It
end.
was worth it. And also, dude, we got like we went to Disneyland and we actually got exclusive
Sure.
or
Not sure.
we got first edition t-shirts. No, we got shirts actually.
We
first
got
edition
shirts, but they're not exclusive shirts. We got edition shirts that never got released at that time.
Yep. And man, that was actually a heck of a lot of fun. And also, we played a lot of Mario Kart 7.
Oh yeah. Lol, same. Our high school was 1,000 people and the band was 300. Oh wow, Space Rivals, way too big. Yeah. Oh man, I remember playing clarinet. Oh yeah. No shit, no. Well, it was that or flute or trumpet. I did not want to play those. Okay, that's fine. Actually, funny enough, speaking of the Mario Kart, I remember Sean bringing his Wii and okay, we were living in a hotel room. And we lived with it was me, Carl, Sean, and 3 other people in the hotel room. And I remember Sean decided because we were gonna be there for like a whole week or something like that, and we're gonna be staying up pretty late at night for like a couple hours more once we were free. I remember Sean bringing his Wii, like his actual Wii system, and we hooked up to the TV and everything. And we was like, oh man, we're gonna play some like Brawl, we're gonna play some like Mario Kart Wii, and then suddenly Sean then realizes he didn't even bring a sense of art.
Yeah. So, but
I luckily enough decided to bring GoldenEye 007 with my with my classic controller Pro. And luckily enough, that can work without a Wiimote. So I literally saved the entire Wii sessions because I had a Pro controller. Sean was so grateful. It was so
Man,
funny.
you guys actually got to go to Disneyland too. My high school band actually had plans to go to Disneyland during my junior year, or it was kind of floated around, but surprise, surprise, we didn't have enough freaking money to do that. We did end up going to New York in my senior year, but that was kind of a select thing where only the students who had like enough money available to afford that trip could go. So it was only like a handful of us, like maybe 20 of us total.
We didn't get to choose. Oh, that sucks. Gotta do candle Atlanta trick. Oh yeah. Well, we didn't have a candle or lighter, so at the time, so we just went with and I had the already controller out, so it just worked automatically. Also one thing about our band is that my band was like pretty big around the world a little bit. So it's like when I was in middle school, it was also Carl was in middle school, but Carl wasn't in the same like area as me and Sean, so he did not know much about this. But when I was in middle school, our high school actually went to China, and when we were in freshman year of high school, our band went to London.
oh yeah.
We couldn't go there because of pricing and everything, and it was still and then during our time, we went to Pasadena during the Rose Bowl. We went to Canada, Victoria, and then like after we graduated, they went to Australia.
Yep.
Like our band
Dude.
traveled a lot.
Man, just the opportunities you can have based on your zip code growing up.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of work, and it was a lot of fun. But
Yeah, it wasn't.
I don't know. In Japan, going on like huge school trips for like middle school and high school is like a big thing here. It's a big part of like the culture. The Shugaku Ryoko, the school trip.
yeah, I mean, I didn't get to go on a lot of it, but it was definitely one of those like I was really glad I took band because I was actually either going for orchestra or band, and orchestra was like unfortunately more boring than band.
Oh, undoubtedly, it was like that at my school too.
Yeah, but it was a lot of work
The
because
orchestra was a group of like really quiet students.
yeah, like our band would travel a lot, and we would actually be like because like we would be like we would have many different we would play concert bands, we had jazz bands, we had like marching bands, and then it's like and depending on your year and skill level, it depends on where you'll be placed in the bands. And yeah, like a lot of the top players went to like many different like competitions, and we got really recognized for a lot of our stuff. Like it was really crazy. I did jazz band actually ever since middle school when I was first able to do jazz band. So I was
Yeah, I didn't start doing jazz until junior year of high school, actually.
yeah. So I'm kind of like a jazz band veteran to a lot of people, but for Carl, he didn't start until sophomore year or
Jazz band?
yeah, jazz band.
Jazz band, I think I started in either sophomore or junior.
Yeah, one of those two. I know I did jazz band before Carl and Sean for 2 years because I did it in middle school and in freshman year before Sean and Carl joined in.
Okay, by the way, just real quick, Nick.
Yeah.
Side note. Do I have to draw a celebrity with abs?
Yes, that's a must, Carl.
God dang it. Okay.
You cannot have buff Celebi without buff abs.
Alright, time to research Dragon Ball Z abs.
But
In my high school jazz band, our guitarist in our jazz band was one of the orchestra people. So he was the only orchestra person who really had overlap with band, and he was pretty much like the archetype of orchestra, where he's just like a really quiet guy who like. He was the only person in jazz band who I could literally forget what his voice sounded like because I wouldn't hear him speak for like weeks at a time.
you know what's weird is that my jazz band, so like I had a guitarist for like jazz band for like for first couple years, and then when it came to like my sophomore junior year, I actually didn't really have a guitarist really for a long period of time because many guitarists just didn't want to wake up early in the morning just to play guitar and all that stuff. Like it was too
Jazz
much.
guitar is kind of a different thing, you know. You can't shred on jazz guitar most of the time.
Yep.
You just kind of play chords.
Yeah, so a lot of times I didn't have like a guitarist, but there was actually one thing in jazz band every year. Since I did jazz band every year in high school, I always did this one event at the end of our jazz band year, where we went to Spokane in Washington. So what's happened in Spokane is there like a statewide competition with all the jazz band high schools in the state. They travel to Spokane to compete with each other, say which one's the better band, and they compete with like two other. If you get accepted, you compete with two other bands, and you get to see who places first, second, and third in your current. How to say category? Not category. What was it like? What's the word I'm looking for? Like cup. Kyle, help me out here, or Carl.
Sorry, repeat what you were saying.
So you know how like some competitions say like different skill levels for people. It's like there's like pros and amateurs and all that stuff. Like you get first, second, and third place in your specific area that you in the competition that you signed up for. I'm forgetting what division. Yes, division.
Oh, yes.
Thanks, Space. That's exactly what I'm looking for. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. But basically that was the competition, and that was like something that would happen every single year at Spokane. We would continually do that. What makes this special for a lot of us is the fact that we had jazz ensemble. We had we had 3 different jazz bands. 2 early in the morning ones and 1 jazz ensemble, which comprises our best players, kind of thing. And we will always go to this competition. So, but the thing about this competition is that they will always do a prelims for everyone playing a certain set of pieces of music, and be like, all right, these are the songs that we're gonna play, and the judges will judge and see if they like us or not. Hey, Dor, welcome back to Jazz. And then after that, they will then announce the final 3 for each category. and then say like, all right, and then they have like a kind of a little end of the day like play session, and then have the actual band members like, no, actually they'll have the actual picks play, and then they have like, while they're picking the finalists, and then before they do the award ceremony, they have like a professional jazz group play a few songs, and then let everyone go. But the thing is that Spokane is like 5-hour bus ride away from where Carl and I lived, basically. It would be 5 hours to get there, and that's fine the first trip, because we would get there like in the evening, and we would sleep in like a hotel or anything like that. But this competition would basically be like, all right, if you're not in this top 3, you can go early. And so if we would go early at like what, the afternoon, and so we would get home at like like at 9 or 10 at night, which is fine. Like that's 5 hours. However, when I started, and this is also when includes when the times Carl came in, every single year, like no joke, every single year, one of our jazz bands would get into the final 3 of our division, causing every single year for me to stay at like so late. We had to stay there till like 10 p.m. at night at Spokane.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then,
those really late trips.
and then drive for like 5 hours, and then my dad would have to wake up at like, yeah, my dad would have to wake up at like 2 a.m. in the morning just to pick me up so I can go back to bed.
Yep, same.
It
Yeah,
was,
there were some long trips.
yeah, it was crazy. And there was one time where all of us agreed, like none of the other jazz bands made it to their division, but our jazz ensemble tied with another jazz group, causing them to be like, oh wait, this is the top 4. And it'd be like, we all agreed, like we all legit agreed. Even the jazz ensemble said like, yeah, we were not good. Like, why are we even in the top? And it's like we're basically forced to stay in Spokane for much longer. And so I was just like straight up kind of pissed off at that time. It's just like, all right, we're forced to stay here for longer. Still, one of my funny moments in the jazz band was the time where, Carl, you forgot to get your suit and had to wear mine the entire time.
Oh man, I had an incident in high school. This is really embarrassing. Where as we were getting ready to change for a jazz performance, because we all, like, when we loaded our gear into this this building, you know, we just kind of threw down our instruments and like put our suits inside our suit bags, like by them. And at first I accidentally grabbed one of my friend's suits and didn't realize until or it wasn't a suit, it was just like black jazz band clothes, like a button-down shirt and like pants, you know?
Yeah.
But it wasn't until I like started like changing into it that I was like, oh shit, this isn't my outfit. And I had to like run back and like trade with like my friend. It wasn't a huge deal, but like it was really embarrassing at the time and almost made us late for a performance.
Yeah.
So our band teacher was kind of stressing out. I was just like, my bad. His suitcase was like right next to my trumpet case.
Yeah, it's funny. Like when Carl wore my suit, it was only because he forgot to bring it on the bus. And so like he asked me to wear my suit, and it's like, fine, as long as our band teachers were okay with it, they were okay with it. But the thing is about the band trip is that when during the prelims, all of us had to wear our suits for the entire time. We cannot wear our casual clothes at all until during the final performances kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And it was funny because Carl had to wear mine, and his performance was before mine. I basically was forced to be like, all right, well, I'm gonna wear my short sleeves and jeans the entire time of the trip. And they like, here's the funniest part. Our performances were literally near the end of the prelims, so I basically was wearing just short sleeves and jeans the entire time, and people were just like, my entire bandmates would just like look at me and like questions like, why aren't you wearing your suits? Like, dude, you have to wear your suit. You know you have to wear your suits. Like, dude, I have no choice. And he's like, wait, what? It's like, yeah, I told them the story about the band teachers being okay with it and everything, and they'll just look at me. It's like, WTF, what? It's like the WTF face. It's like, yeah, Carl's just wearing my suit. I can't wear anything. So I found it funny. And it's like when Carl finally played, and we like Carl ended, and I just had to rush to him. It's like, Carl, give me a suit now. It's like I had to quickly change in the bathroom, grab my suit, quickly change, and then run back to the performance area to get ready, so I can change, like, can play.
I think the system we went by when I was in high school is our band teacher would be like, all right, guys, you got to have your suits on by the time we arrive at the location. I'm referring to like a thing where we had it wasn't a contest, but it was like a high school band festival that took place on a university campus on the other side of the state. So it was like a several hour-long drive, but he's like, you guys got to have the suits on by the time we get to the campus, which could mean that you have the suit like when you arrive at school that morning, or you could change into it on the bus.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like changing into it on the bus, so I was just like, I'm gonna show up in my suit and just chill on the bus.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the system of making sure that people weren't, being stupid and being slackers and like rapidly changing in the bathroom right before we play.
Oh yeah, because there's like only one bathroom in the entire bus.
Yeah, so it took people had to kind of go in like shifts basically.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I just remember kind of funny moments where we'd be pressed on time for things. There was one time, like, home football games aren't like a big deal, but like there's a system where I know you didn't do this, but our band teacher would always give us the third quarter off at football and I think basketball games too.
No, actually, our band teacher did that.
Oh, for some reason I feel like one time when I mentioned this, you were like, "Well, fuck, we didn't do that."
Probably because there was like, no, our band. I think I wouldn't say that. No, our band teacher gave us third quarters off. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah, and so it was just a home football game, just kind of chill. And I was like, I hadn't eaten dinner that night, So I was like, dude, I want a hot dog. I'm gonna go buy a hot dog. And unfortunately, the line was long. And so it's that thing where we got like he's like guys, by the time it's like 3 minutes on my coffee break before back to the bench. He didn't say that aggressively, but that was just like our usual thing. I'm like a senior at this point. It's like senior year, so it's like obviously I'm supposed to like know how it be. And I'm buying this hot dog and a soda, and it just takes so long. I get my hot dog, and I'm like power walking back to the stands, and as I'm like walking up the stairs, my band teacher glares at me. I'm like hot dog and he glares at me, and he's not wearing a watch, and he's obviously not wearing a watch, but he does that thing where he points at his wrist very rapidly with his finger, and it's like glaring at me. I'm like approaching, and he's like giving me spiels like, I'm like, yes, I know, please leave me alone, I just want my hot dog. I don't know, man. There's some of those band moments where I can just picture the scene in my head of him pointing at his wrist like that.
Yeah. When we were in band, a lot of things like before home games, actually, for the trumpets that we are like the captains always organized was we always had like a burger barbecue before the game.
Oh.
Yeah, we would actually have barbecues, and it was nice because then it's like I have something to eat. It was always be a cheeseburger, but it was like I always have something to eat before the game, so I wouldn't be that hungry.
Sad face because I was always hungry.
Yeah, for me, it's like we would show up to the game at like 5 p.m. or whatever, so like eating during the third quarters, what I have to do.
Oh yeah, no, I also remember there was like a little thing for middle schoolers. They would always do a pizza run, like a little thing where basically like they give make people buy tickets for pizzas, little like lunch pizzas. Like it's the cafeteria pizzas, by the way.
Oh, ew.
Yeah, and like with parents, it's like a fundraising thing. And this was a middle school thing, and it would be in the high school where parents and middle schools and people would eat pizzas and stuff like that. And then I remember during that time, they would like, this is before the game, they would have like a little mini concert, and all the high school jazz bands would play in for the parents and kids in that in the cafeteria. Here's the thing though, because it's right before the game, and all the jazz band kids, pretty much. Oh wait, no worries, Space. Thanks for joining, by the way. Hope to catch you in another stream. You have a good night and take care. Good luck with anything you need to do, by the way, for sure. We'd love to talk more about bands later, for sure.
Yeah, we kind of do this a lot, but you know, it's banned, so that's how
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
banned. We can go on for hours.
Yeah.
But yeah, take care, Space. Much appreciated. But one of the things that because almost every single jazz band player was in band, excluding like our bassists and guitarists a little bit, and sometimes percussionists. Uh, basically, you would see all jazz bands be in like the long pants, like the strap pants. Do you know what I'm talking about, Kyle?
Overalls?
Yeah, the overalls, yeah.
Or suspenders?
Yeah,
Yeah.
suspenders. They'd be in there because we had to wear suspenders. See you later, Space.
That's such a dorky jazz fashion thing. I don't know. I'm not a fan of that look.
No, well, no. The thing is, we had to wear suspenders because then we had to wear our actual band uniform jackets with our shakos. But because like it was right before the game, and the suspenders are the hardest thing to put on and everything like that, we basically all had to wear our suspenders with like random T-shirts on top of it, because like we couldn't wear our suits because we would
That's
usually
so weird.
yeah, we would usually wear suits for our concerts, but instead we had to wear our suspenders, and underneath we had to wear like a random shirt, usually a T-shirt, because we couldn't go like bare skin most of the time. You just see like a bunch of people with random T-shirts but with black suspenders just playing jazz band, and it just looks so unprofessional, but it's the way we had to deal with it. I know, Carl, you played at a couple of those.
Yeah.
I remember some adventures of playing with pep band where I'd have trombone players right behind me, and some incidents that happened there. Like there was one where one of my friends played too close to my ear. I told him like my ear was like ringing by third quarter of that basketball game. And there was also one time where during a football game, some of the trombone players would do things like they'd tie like a plastic bag on like the end of their spit valve on the trombone. That way, like if any spit like leaks out, it'll just get caught in the bag and it's no big deal. Also, nice motorcycle crash there. Yeah, so they do that, but my one friend who was a trombone player, he went full on like yeet and just like didn't even like protect his spit valve, nor did he like empty it at all throughout the game, just to like meme out of it. And it didn't end well. Oh no, I'm just thinking about it right now. And so at the end of this football game, we had to play our fight song at the end, right?
Yeah.
Because we like won the game. We were like, oh yeah, win! And we're like playing the fight song. Straight up within like the first like 4 measures of the fight song, this trombone player is behind me, and he has to play a note where he like really quickly pushes his slide out. And frickin' spit shoots out of his spit valve like a frickin' water gun and glazes my entire left arm. I'm like wearing a T-shirt, so it's like on the skin of my arm. He just shoots spit all over it, and I'm like, oh no! And I'm like, it's still like playing though, but I probably look so cringe like underneath like my trumpet playing embouchure. I'm just like cringing the whole time we're playing the song. And one of my friends who was also in my Boy Scout troop, well, he wasn't really trained, but he was in my Boy Scout troop, and he was a tuba player that year, and he sees this happen, and he starts laughing so hard he couldn't keep his composure throughout the whole song. And just the song ends, I just turn to my trombone player friend, I'm like, dude, and he's just like laughing. I'm like wiping it off with like my like shirt or like a towel or something. I was like, ew. I was like, ew. Some of those spit adventures, dude.
Oh man. By the way, Carl, if you have any other funny stories of band, you can tell them if you want.
There was also one time, this was a real quick thing, but I remember there was one time where I was in our college's pep band, and a trombone player, because we had to do this thing where we're kind of marching back and forth in the stands. A trombone player accidentally bopped me on the shoulder with their slide. And it was just kind of funny, particularly because she didn't like know me. Also, after the song, she's like super apologetic. She's like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." I'm like, "It's no big deal, man. It happens."
That's funny.
Yeah.
You have any stories, Carl?
Honestly, like in terms of funny band moments, really, all I can think about right now is just Pasadena and how much of a memorable experience that was.
I mean, you could talk about that too. It's not just have to be funny.
Well, I mean, the number of times which Sean and I played Mario Kart 7 and Star Fox 64 3D,
Was that all you guys just played?
and also with like Evo, it was 4 Swords.
Alright, yeah, I remember guys doing that a lot.
Dude, he trolled the crap out of me in that.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I talked before about the one time that some people in my high school, my history class, got in trouble for playing Mario Kart 7 at the state capitol. I can tell that story again once Carl's done, but yeah, that was pretty funny.
Well, let's just say that for some reason, Sean's best course was musical. What was that? Like Melody Raceway?
Yeah,
Was-
with the music note, right?
Yes. Like I am super surprised that he was super consistent in that course. I don't know why.
I guess it's because he's a band person.
That is true. I do remember us hanging out like at Disneyland. We went on multiple rides. I think Black Mountain,
Space Mountain.
Space Mountain. There we go. Sorry, I think it was like Black Diamond. No, I'm thinking of skiing. What am I talking about? That's why. But yeah, like I remember that we got, well, at least I got a double lightsaber.
I got a double lightsaber too, but that's kind of put away now.
Yeah, same.
I
Also,
got
my nephew
I
plays
got-
with it too much.
I got a purple one. But
The blue one.
yeah, but actually, speaking of the Space Mountain one, we waited at that thing for like 3 hours, by the way.
Oh, really?
But yeah, we waited at Space. We only went to 2 really big rides, and there was like the Star Wars like virtual roller coaster and a Space Mountain. And then we just bought like lightsabers.
Yep.
But I
And I
remember.
went to GameStop.
Yeah, I actually remember at the Space Mountain, really quick. There like no, not Space Mountain, the Star Wars virtual ride. We didn't. I'm sorry, but I got to go. No worries, Shed. You take care of yourself. Thanks for joining. Anyway, don't need to apologize. I'm glad to see you here, and I hope to catch you tomorrow and everything. Love you. See you soon. Yeah, see you soon, Shed. You take care. I'll catch you later for sure. I crashed again. Dang it. Take care, Shed.
See you, Shed.
See you, Shed. Do you, Kyle? Do you know what we're talking about? Like virtual roller coasters, right?
Are talking? Yeah, I think I know what you mean. Is it like a thing where it's like not exactly VR, but it's like a thing where you're in the seat and you're like watching like a projector
Yep.
presentation?
Yep.
Yeah,
And
I
I've
would
seen
say
one of
no
those
Chuck E. Cheese's.
yeah.
I've never been to I've never been to Disneyland, but I've been to Epcot in Florida, and they had a similar thing to that, where it's like a hang gliding simulation.
Yeah. So the one in Disneyland was a super long ride, and it was just like we saw it, and it was like Star Wars, and it was like, all right, cool, whatever. And we were like, all right, we were going through it, and then we realized like halfway through it, kind of thing, that it was a more virtual ride in it and anything, and we were just like all like, oh my god, this is gonna be a waste of time. Because I think Carl, did you like were you like excited for the virtual ride, or were you just like about it?
I mean, it was a ride.
That's true.
So,
Yeah, but I know that me and Sean were like, oh god, this is not gonna be a fun one just because of it's like virtual. It's not like an actual roller coaster or anything. So we were kind of disappointed. But then we just went with it at the very end. We went into this like little ship pod thing, like it would like a normal Star Wars pod kind of thing. And I remember like at the very beginning, we were all sitting behind everyone, by the way. We at the very beginning, we did this like the ride starts, and then you just see Darth Vader be like, all right, now there is a rebel scum on your ship, and he looks like this. And here's the best part. That picture was actually me smiling at everyone, looking so derpy. And it was just, literally, all of us in the back were like, oh, oh my god! And we were just like, we just ended up just screaming the entire time at that point. And it just, that made that ride so much more funny. And they just said like, yeah, you now became you're a rebel scum kind of thing. And we just made that as like a little joke for the entire trip. Like, oh yeah, I'm a rebel scum now.
That is your sus.
Yeah. What was the story you want to tell, Kyle?
Oh, the time where some people got in trouble at the state capitol.
Yep.
I've kind of told this before, but you may not remember. I don't know if like Carl and James were there, but there was one time where as part of my U.S. history class in my junior year, a bunch of the U.S. history classes at my school went to the state capitol in the state capital of Washington, and it was supposed to be an educational thing where like we get to like walk around and look at like the state capitol buildings. And then there's the thing where we had like after lunch that day, we went to some other like room in one of the buildings, and like I don't know if it was the state representatives themselves or like officials who work for them, but they just kind of gave a presentation about like, oh, this is how state law works and blah blah blah. So it's supposed to be educational. Unfortunately, the thing about my high school is that you just like you can't have nice things.
Yeah.
And so, at least from what happened from my point of view, I found out later is that the reason why some of these government workers got so mad at me and my friends is because earlier in the day, some other students from my school had been super disruptive in the same area. But it's basically like we were in like kind of a library-ish area of one of the state capitol buildings, and me and my friends were sitting down, and some of them had just gotten 3DSs because the 3DS had just come out like 2 months ago by this point.
Oh yeah.
And they were like playing Mario Kart 7 and just chilling, and I wasn't because I didn't have a 3DS at the time, so I was just kind of sitting there. And I don't know how I should go about the chronology of the story. I think I'll start by the end of it, or well, what I found out later, which is that earlier during the day, when everybody's supposed to have met up in this one area after lunch, some kids didn't, and they just went YOLOing around the state capitol. And they're in the same library area, and we're just being super obnoxious and disruptive and disrespectful. And some like employees of the area had to like tell them to leave, and like ejected them. And what happened was by the end of that day, they had written a formal letter to the teachers of my school asking them to never take anybody from my school to the state capitol ever again. Ooh. So they basically banned my school from ever coming there.
Oh my god.
So this happened just with everything related to my high school. Anytime any body with any kind of authority or respect had any involvement with my school, by the end of it, they'd be like, fuck your school, we're boycotting you. Like, this literally happened with, like, the Historical Society of my city as well. Anyway, and so that was why they were so pissed at us when we were there later that day, and we're just chilling, and my friends are playing Mario Kart. And they weren't being loud or anything, they're just, like, kind of quiet, just like, oh, I won the race, that's cool. But then this one dude in his suit comes over, and he's like, and he's like, you guys need to get out of here, or whatever. He didn't say that really, but what he said was like, if you guys aren't doing anything related to law, then please leave. And the worst part of it was that, like, he didn't hear it said, but one of the people in my friend group, he leans over to another one, he's like, he says, if you aren't doing anything related to law, then please leave. And one of my friends leans over and whispers, he's like, oh, well, good thing about Phoenix, right? And just like, some of us are just like, we're just totally trying not to crack up because there's this angry old dude just like standing there like lecturing us. But if we says that, we're just like, oh my god, we're like trying to contain our laughter. But yeah, we like got up and left, and yeah, it was pretty awkward. I mean, the next day we found out why that guy got so mad at us. It's because he was like thinking we were associated with this other group of people who were being much more rude about it.
It's not your fault though.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose we shouldn't have been sitting there playing video games at that table, but you know, he told us to leave and we did. We didn't make a problem or a scene out of it.
No, it makes sense.
Good thing I brought Phoenix, right?
I'm actually kind of excited to try like the Great Ace Attorney on stream, because then that way at least I'll make some progress with it. At least that's the hope. Because obviously that game requires 3 people to organize again. Because I know that with Conkers I had to get like you, Carl, and Sean together.
Yeah.
And then, but this one is a little bit easier, but that also depends on Emoto.
Probably easier to play than Conquer as well. I
Conquer.
also checked into the Discord chat. Did you give Celebi nipples? I mean, like I guess I suppose it should have. I mean, just in the sense that like having pecs like that with no nipples would just be kind of strange. Like, it'd just be like, dude, why don't you have nips? Like,
Dude, actually,
that would be more weird.
I think I found a way. I think I did find a way to draw Celebi's eyes somewhat DBZA.
Yeah, he did. It's actually pretty close.
I actually had a. I pretty much mimicked the eyebrows from Goku and Vegeta.
Oh, speaking of pecs, holy crap, dude! Benching so much.
Yep. I'm trying to get all the upgrades now, so that I upgraded my sword to the max now, so I don't have to charge up anymore. And these bench presses should help give my stamina better. Like I should do
Upgrade
more.
your pecs to the max.
Yeah, I'm doing my pecs to the max, because at least I want to do some major damage to that boss.
I will say, just thinking about band stuff, like I remember, like I was only in the pep band at our university for a year, and like it was. I remember kind of wishing, like after I'd left that band, maybe if I'd stuck around, I would have had more fun with it. But like, just thinking on the culture of that band, it was kind of a weird thing. Like, I didn't really make like friends in the band at the time. There were some other trumpet players who were like specifically like the freshman trumpet players who were new to the band in the same year. I was kind of acquainted with, you know, like if we saw each other on campus, we would say hi to each other.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just it's kind of a weird thing when you take a lot of kids who went to high school bands, and as we've kind of like been aware of with our conversation with like me and like you two,
Yep.
like the culture and the resources and stuff of high school bands can be completely different depending on where you went to high school. So you got all these high school band kids coming together, and they're just coming at it with like totally different experiences and stuff. Like, I really only knew the people in the trumpet section for the most part, because they were like the only people in the band I'd really interact with more often. And like, the thing is, like when I joined the band that year, there were 2 freshmen who joined the band who went to high school together, and the leader of the trumpet section was 2 years older and went to high school with them. And as a result, they felt very, very cliquey about each other. That they were like best friends and had this super narrow vision of like, oh, band is like this, and this is how band is meant to be, and we play in band like this. And I was like, well, fuck.
Well then.
Yeah, that's kind of a thing. One of those trumpet players was one of your freshman year roommates' friends, Nick.
Oh yeah, them. Yeah.
One of the twin brothers. Well, I guess yeah, because they all went to the same high school. It was the high school that the twin brothers went to.
Oh yeah. Really?
Yeah, because they were all buddies. So, yeah, they were like nice people. It's just that like they had like a totally different band
why are
culture
you
than I
losing
did
it,
growing
Dora?
up. So it was like, oh,
What's going on?
this is weird.
All right, so here's a side note, Nick. Should I give Broly Broly like Dragon Ball Super Broly's pants?
Yes.
Okay, that makes it
Automod. What happened with Automod?
What happened to you, Dor? Everything all
Let me
right?
check mod view. I'm not looking at mod view.
I'm not seeing anything automodded.
I don't see anything automodded.
Might be from a different stream.
Fucked. Added as permitted term by Blazer Gamer 112 2 days ago.
Yep.
Wants to bang. Added as permitted term by Blazer Gamer 112 9 days ago. That's funny.
Yeah, the some of the terms are just like in context they make sense. Out of context they don't.
Yeah, we just read them on the list. Fucking added as permitted term by Blazer Gamer 112. LDN. Why would LDN not be allowed?
You know, I have no idea.
Does that mean something? I don't know if I'm gonna read this, but I'm gonna Google search what that means.
Really hard to do a commission when the anime art based off can't keep their art. Oh,
Oh, yep.
no, it makes sense. That sounds really annoying and difficult.
What Google seems to be suggesting here is that LDN is a type of opioid, so that's probably why Twitch would block that. But that's a really obscure drug-related term, so it's like, huh.
All right, skipping that cutscene. I already watched that last time.
I didn't know that Will is a mod of this chat now.
I mean, he gave me mod permissions on his.
Yeah. Crotch added as permitted term by Blazer Gamer 112. Fucks added as just every permutation of the F-bomb has been like it's had to be allowed at some point. Turd added as permitted term by Blazer Gamer 112. Kinky added as permitted term by Blazer Gamer 112.
I hate the spinning of the wheel. It's hard to tell when which way it goes.
Oh, there was one thing I had to block last month though.
Really?
Yeah, Ho STFU added as blocked term by Digits BB last month.
Oh.
That might have been like a troll who came in the chat or something. That's why I had to mod them.
Probably.
Oh yeah. Okay. So when we're talking about the whole Incineroar thing, you know,
Oh yeah.
Korean Incineroar, there was the one time where like we just started. I think somebody just started spamming in the chat, so I had to like block it just to be like, please don't do this.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, is that Matt?
And so, let's see, 369.
Maybe.
When somebody decided to say in all caps ejaculation 11 times in a row, I had to block them.
That sounds like Matt.
It probably was Matt. I think it was.
Was this related to Incineroar?
Yep.
Yes.
Sounds about that. Okay, that one is an annoying one. This one.
Australian SO added as permitted term. Why would that matter? Australian significant other? Like,
I don't think it's considered significant other to Twitch.
it's like, oh man, I've got an Australian significant other. Wow, racist.
JoJo is making my life difficult. Oh, you're trying to copy JoJo's art style? Makes sense.
Vagina with a period added as permitted term by Blazer Gamer 112.
What?
Again, this makes. I'm pretty sure in context it makes sense. Out of context, it doesn't. Yeah, Australia.
Screw the
SO.
DS added as permitted term by Paragon Greninja.
Wait, what?
Screw the DS.
I guess it's because of screw.
I think, well, yeah, it's just I think we were having a conversation probably about like a DS port of a game or something, and somebody was like, "Screw the DS."
Well, actually, you know, one thing I'm curious now, because like there's certain certain consoles I really wish I played more games of, and definitely the DS and GameCube and the Wii are like 3 of my consoles that I wish I played more games of.
I played a fair amount on the DS, but the Wii and the GameCube definitely not so much.
I feel like if I had more opportunities to play all of them, I would have like enjoyed the systems more.
Yeah. He's a neckbeard added as permitted term by Blazer Gamer 112.
Keys and neckbeard?
Yeah.
What?
Neckbeard is like an online slang term referring to like socially awkward, creepy dudes.
Oh.
As in like the sort of people who like creeping racist chat or whatever.
Oh, those things.
Those kinds of people, yeah. Oh, apparently, wait a minute. There's a time where you had to block the N-word? That's weird.
Did someone actually say it?
I don't know if you did, or maybe you were just adding it to the banned words just in case.
That was definitely added to the banned words list. Because like
Is that not banned by default?
I did it just in case.
They should be. Also, you've added all the, you know, Twitch's banned words.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 infamous words that had to be banned.
I did that just in case because I didn't fully understand it.
Po butt. Oh wait, that was a user. Okay, that was the name of a user. You had to time out. She fatty. Added as permitted term by Blizzard Gamer 112.
You know, I don't even know some of the...
He's a fake simp. Added as permitted term by Blizzard Gamer 112.
Oh, come on. I held back on that. Yeah, this fight is gonna take like 30 minutes just to do one round.
Oh, apparently I had to time out somebody 5 months ago.
That's definitely not door.
What the hell? I found a message that Justin had to delete, which is clearly just somebody spamming. The hell?
It's
This is
interesting
probably
to
song
see
lyrics.
all the mod stuff that we did.
Yeah, Justin had to like delete a message. It looks like it was somebody quoting a SoundCloud rapper or something.
Oh yeah, it's just one of those like people who say like long lyrics for a lot of it, and it just generally is not okay. Because like people just spam a lot of that. I think I know exactly when it was.
Why does it sound like Roy?
You know, I never really put that 2 and 2 together, but now you say it, now I can't unhear it.
Like legit during the middle of Kyle's, like while Kyle's talking, I was like, wait, is someone playing Smash Brothers?
Yeah, so I'm playing Smash Brothers right now. Would you like to play?
Oh, thanks. I have to go to sleep soon.
No, this is a great Smash game. This is Smash Ultimate 2.
Perfect name.
Do you think Smash will ever beat Budokai Tenkaichi 3's list of characters?
No.
They will never make a over 100 character game.
I mean, we're not gonna get anything like Smash Ultimate ever again.
I wouldn't say never. It's just really ambitious, and that will cause a lot of like problems for balancing.
It's just it's also licensing as well.
Royalties and everything.
Yep.
Oh, come on. He really does sound like Roy.
Yep.
Is he Roy's voice actor?
Yeah, I don't know.
Night will.
Right, well, just burn that Celebi, Rollaby in your dreams.
That's what he's gonna be sleeping about.
Okay, I'm just tempted to just to DM Matt this.
Probably give him a sneak preview of it. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Dude, level 6 is definitely gonna be worth the grind for fighters. It's just the only problem is that it's such a long way to get to it. And I think Matt can eventually get to it. You definitely need to get through the grind of it. It's like it's really helpful. It's just really annoying to get to.
Why does it feel like I'm drawing Yugimoto? The hair.
Did you saw my post tag about you today, right? About speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh?
It looks like Will hasn't noticed.
Wait.
No,
Let me
he
double-check.
he
I think-
has not noticed.
Wait, I
It
think...
took him it took him almost exactly a month and a half to notice the last one.
Yeah, I was just like,
Pretty great.
I was like looking at the Will's name, and I was just like, I see what you did there.
Yeah. Well, I told you I was gonna do that, so I just did
Oh.
it like an hour into your stream when I figured nobody would be paying attention to that.
Yep. I was just in call. Will joined in like 30 minutes before my stream started, and it was just like, who changed my name to Dargan? And you're just like, It's just like, wow.
Yeah, that was on February 6th.
It's like, he's like, wow, it took you this long to finally notice, and it's like, it's like, really? He actually guessed right who was it. I just didn't tell him who, because I figured that you might have said it or not. Or we'll say it or not. It's like,
Well, it's like always me anyway.
yeah, he was just like, what was it? It's like, it must be Kyle. It's like, I didn't say anything. It's like,
He's gonna come back and says, "I heard you all that."
It would be funny if he
Yeah,
did.
he might, but you know, whatever. We'll just get him again some other time. It's because he makes such a big deal out of it that makes it funny.
Like that, was it that yeah sound?
Yeah.
It does sound very Smash Bros. Yeah.
This is already a lost cause fight, but I guess I'm kind of just seeing how long I go. Also, I want to see his insta kill moves, so I can know when to dodge it. This is just like, look how much damage I've done, and I've already done like what, 15 minutes of this fight. Is that his insta kill? That looks like it's insta kill. He does sound like Roy. He does look like Roy. A pedo Roy.
Oh what?
A pedo Roy.
Like that?
Should I just stream our attempt at Dragon Ball Fighters? Carl, what do you think?
What?
Art.
Oh. When?
I mean, it's either on our Friday, on our Monday or Tuesday, because that.
Well, I think stream is fine. Yep. Scared the crap out of me.
I scare a crap out of everyone. The only problem is with this game, it just reuses a lot of sound clips, like, for a lot of things. Like, it's like, oh yeah, let's record only, like, 5 lines and then reuse it, like, don't forget me, all the time.
Think you can take me?
I didn't realize Mithra's actually says that in her taunts.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
It's like until I watched like some like videos of like Mithra and Pyra fighting, like playing in Smash, I didn't realize she said that. And they definitely added that just because of the memes.
Yep. Honestly, I was kind of hoping that in the Pyra and Mithra stage that they would, that the soldier would be in the background, just like how in Violet's stage,
Yep.
there's a certain guard that's in the background just because of the memes.
Yeah, no, that would have been funny.
What have I created?
You agreed to it.
Create something greater than Stash Peak Carl or whatever I called it.
Yeah, Stash
a
me,
level.
Carl.
It's a level beyond Super Saiyan.
It's a level beyond Super. Should I just add? Carl, can you get that done by Monday, potentially?
What? Like so that you can post it on stream.
Yes. Just so it's like, oh yeah, we need app like thick Celebi or
I can try.
Brawlaby, so that I can just
work.
show us like this is our luck against Vegeta 4.
Okay, sure.
I just it's not like a have to. I thought it would just be kind of funny, honestly.
Yes. I'll try and get it done as soon as I can.
I mean, you have at least like a few days to do it, and that's like that's not too. You're pretty
Some
far.
of these memes that I have.
Wait, is that James?
Is James on the Jeb Bush meme?
Oh.
Clinton, Trump, James.
Oh, I saw that meme, but with like no, not Mudkip, Quagsire and Wooper.
Oh yeah, there was a meme like that. Didn't wait? No, Kyle made that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Hey, can you get Daisy in?
Ah,
You
shoot.
have any trouble getting
I
Daisy
can't.
in?
Ah.
I'll remove that in case Justin's not a fan.
I mean, he said was okay with that. Like before.
Wait, what?
No, I'm not sure. I'm just not sure if he's a fan of being memed.
I think he's like indifferent for the most part.
Dude. So much hair.
Are you giving him Super Saiyan hair? Please. I can't see right now, Carl.
Oh my god, remember when I made those distorted Lissa Fates memes?
Yep.
That's coming along pretty
Oh
good.
my god. He is actually looking really good. But my god, Carl, you're making something that people never thought that would be crossed.
I'm back, bitches!
Yup, carried.
You can't say that in Smash.
That's true.
Think about
It's that one time that Carl went to a maid cafe.
oh my god. I think what's more offensive is that it says Reeman instead of Ramen.
It does say Riemann.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Wait, what? Where's that picture from?
I think I just googled maid cafe, so I have no idea where that's located.
I'm assuming in like nearby Tokyo and stuff.
It could be, but I'm not sure. I mean, they probably have maid cafes in other major cities as well.
All right, that was.
I think there were a
that was
bunch in
lost.
Akihabara, but I wouldn't ever go into one.
Yeah, don't.
Nah.
It just the way they even have to pretend to act like that just kind of weirds me
yeah,
out.
it is such a weird thing. Craig, just to give you context, I finished grinding. I did all the upgrades as I can. That was my first attempt. That took like what 30 minutes of just doing that, and that was already a lost cause. So now that I was expecting all that stuff, it's this second attempt should be better. At least I now expect certain things. It's just what? Okay, did you see that? Did you see that, Kyle?
I wasn't looking, sorry.
Okay, this is also one thing I hate about this game. I literally could not move. It was an opening cutscene, yet he threw a projectile at me and I got immediately hit. One thing I don't like about this game is just the stupidity of the AI. Well, not AI stupidity. It's more of the programmers decided to make like certain things really attack you when you can't even deflect it.
By the way, Prey, doesn't it sound like Roy?
It does sound like Roy after Carl mentioned it. He does look like Roy too.
Are you serious?
Nah.
I was just saying.
I mean, he does have the facial structure.
I guess the jawline.
Magnificent jawline.
perfect jawline.
Would you actually try Fire Emblem, Carl?
Justin suggests that I start with 3 houses.
I thought Awakening would be a nice opening for a lot of people.
I'm gonna take Justin's word.
I mean, there's also Chris, who is more of a Fire Emblem expert than Justin.
It's true.
Roy with a lightsaber.
But on Switch, so it's a bit easy. It's a bit more accessible. Also, it is midnight right now, so I need to get off to bed.
No, you don't. It's not midnight. It's not midnight in Hawaii. All right, Carl, we're traveling to Hawaii right now. Pack your bags.
No.
Carl, come on. Yamate.
Yes, I will. Yes, I
Here,
will.
Carl's reverting back to his previous nickname from before.
Yamero Carl. Or whatever. Yamero desu.
Why add a freaking...
Watashi wa Nihon desu.
Yes.
Baka mitai, Carl.
Hajime mashite yoroshiku onegaishimasu.
Also, they produced there's an idiot that looks like Carl. Or Carl that looks like me.
I heard it's cheap to fly to Hawaii right now. Yeah, Carl, let's fly to Hawaii right now. Let's visit Andre and Biz. They'll be so happy.
Oh, I wish.
Maybe once the flying and all that stuff goes back to normal, we can all visit a convention together.
Yeah, I think you mentioned you want to hit it nuts.
Yep. I know that Grace says definitely we should try TwitchCon. Because that's what she's interested in.
Okay, there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and post this in the Fighters crew. So,
Go for it. Without any context.
well, I'm still gonna add him.
I apparently made this at some point.
Oh yeah, the Carl beard.
Alright. I still need more on the hand, but...
I mean, the hands are not as important compared to like everything else.
especially the abs.
As long as you get the abs perfected, I'm fine. Where is TwitchCon hosted? I think in San Diego. So as long as you get a trip to San Diego, that's fine.
It's all these freaking jacks. Alright. Heading out.
Alright, see you later, Carl. Talk to you tomorrow.
Yep, see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Work on this.
Alright, I'm head
Night.
out.
Okay, good night.
Night, Kyle.
You said night, Kyle. I'm still here.
He said I'm gonna head out though.
I was just saying that in reference to Carl leaving.
Okay.
Oh, memes.
I mean, Jesus, that's so
Memes.
far from me. I mean, Kraid, would PAX Boston be fine for you? Like, that's PAX East. I mean, technically PAX East would be also easier for Grace as well if she moves back to her home. That is closer, yep. I mean, PAX East is definitely a place I wanted to go to too. What conventions do you want to go to, Kyle?
I mean, I've never even been to a convention before. I suppose if I were to go to one, PAX West should make sense just because it's near where we're from.
Yep.
My mom always talks about conventions like that when they're happening because they're at the Seattle Convention Center and she works downtown. So she's like, I saw some people cosplaying today because they're going there, and it was kind of weird. She was like telling me some of the weird costumes she saw.
Oh, yeah, that's funny. You know, like, I mean, there's the new convention center going in Seattle because of, like, tourists and everything. They want more space. And especially since, like, one of the biggest reasons why Seattle is pushing for that convention center is because of PAX, to be honest. Like, PAX has been, like, paying, like, a fee, like, almost, like, for, like, many years. Like, ever since, like, 2013, pretty much, 2014. Because they've been overfilling the capacity, so they had to pay a fine each time, and they're running out of space to put in all the booths and stuff like that, so they needed a new space. But since PAX West is such a gold mine for money for Seattle, they literally spent so much money in trying to push for that convention center to be built ASAP, so that so they can keep a lot of the conventions. I'm pretty sure PAX is like one of the biggest reasons why they even have that.
It's probably one of the biggest conventions held in that area.
Yeah, for sure. Love to see. I could train there. Oh, you could train to Boston, really? Well, I mean, like, if PAX East ever becomes a thing again, I could definitely consider going there. Especially since, like, once I get a full-time job, all I have to do is just get that time off. Is all. But visit Seattle one day. I mean, it's a nice place for sure. Just don't ever try to drive in Seattle.
Yeah, oh gosh, yeah, don't. The hills are like 45-degree angles.
And it's also that it's confusing which ways are one and which ways are not. Like, there's so many one-way streets that it's like, it's near impossible to memorize them all. Heck, your ex-roommate Kyle hated it when
Oh my god, yeah. That one time.
Yeah. Just to say, Craig, because I'm pretty sure you never were here when I told the story, but basically there was a time where so Kyle and I used to live together in when we were back up at Western. And we lived with another person that was Kyle's, like, originally Kyle's roommate back in when we were in the dorms. And so there was a time where I wanted to work at the Pacific Science Center in Seattle. By the way, that they kind of screwed me over with my social security number, but that's a different story. Oh man, that's a ninja kill. Okay. Wow. Wow. I thought I dodged that. All the hills that bad to drive on? Oh yeah, hills are bad to that bad to drive.
It's downtown Seattle is very bumpy and there's a lot of potholes and stuff like that. It's yeah.
But to explain the story, basically I wanted to work at the Pacific Science Center for one holiday, winter holiday, really. And I didn't have a car, so I asked our roommate to drive because
call him Bob. So you don't have to keep saying ex-roommate.
Yeah. So Bob had the only car in our room at the time, and in an apartment. And so I asked them, like, hey, can you drive me there? I'll pay for some of the gas and all that stuff, like $20, $20 to $40. And he was just like. It's like, and he was like debating, but then another reason that compelled him was that because there was like a certain shop in Seattle that he wanted to go to. So
God, I mean, I don't know if we should say what it was, like what his errand was.
No,
like,
I'm not gonna say it, but it just
Was it the leaves? The leaves?
not that.
it was something else.
I'll at least let James know what it was.
Yeah, but basically he wanted to go to this specific shop in Seattle, and he'd never been to Seattle, so he was actually genuinely curious. So this was a perfect reason for him to go. So it's like, all right, cool. We drove down 2 hours later. I went to the interview, and it's like, all right, I'll see you in about like 2-ish hours after the interview. It's like, all right, cool. After my interview was over, I then it's like, and then I basically text them. It's like, hey dude, I'm done. Can you meet me? He's like, yeah. And then he drives up to where to pick me up, and he just says like, get in, like aggressively. And he's just like, something happened. And so I asked Bob what was wrong. He's like, well, let's see. I went to find that place. The driving was so atrocious that not only was like the one-way streets and everything was so bad. He's like, yeah, I went to find this place. I couldn't find it in the location where they said they were in the map. And so like he then said like, all right, I had to park my car randomly to a certain place because all the parkings are awful. He had to walk in the rain to see it, and then when he finds the location, he finds out when he gets there that it was closed. And so he basically had to walk back to his car in the rain and drive through all the traffic and everything just to find out that the place moved to a completely different location from what it said. So basically he wasted 2 hours finding the place, finding a parking spot, and finding the store in the rain. And through all that experience, he ultimately concluded that he never... Keep in mind, he was from San Diego before, so he only knows those streets. And he basically concluded that he never wants to drive in Seattle ever again. And when we were leaving, I said, like, it's like, do you want any final messages to downtown Seattle? And all he did was just flip off the entire city while we were driving off the freeway. It was just like a giant middle finger. And he was just like, yep, that sounds about right.
Yeah, Bob was quite a character.
Dang it.
I remember there was that, I don't know, it's just like do you remember when he had like an extremely nocturnal sleep schedule?
Yep.
And like, he would literally just like, in order to get himself to even be able to go to class, he would just like, go to class in the morning, sleep all through the afternoon and evening, and then wake up and stay up all night just because that's what he could like do.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then there's just one time where I was just eating dinner, talking to one of our other roommate at the time, and just like, we were just eating dinner, it was like 7 p.m. and he just like, we had no idea he was asleep. So we just assume it's totally reasonable to just be having a casual conversation at 7 p.m. while eating. But then he just like opens the door and walks out of his room in his underwear glaring at us. He's like, hey, shut up. And then walks back into his room and slams the door. And we're just like, oh.
I think I remember that. You were able to get, yeah, at least I was able to get to where I needed. But do we still talk to Bob? No, me and Kyle don't talk to him.
I haven't talked to him since that school year.
Yeah, I have his number still technically, if he still uses said number.
Last I heard of him was at the end of 2019 when there was a situation.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know that there's like some of us. I know like a couple people that have.
There are people in another social clique who still hang out with him, but we don't.
I actually don't know if they still hang out with him, to be honest.
Oh yeah, because of yeah.
All I know is that they have contact of him, but all I can say is that I guess
yeah, I don't know what
right.
became of the people who still live in that city. Because there was that one clique split, but then clique split more a couple times. So.
Yep. I mean,
like,
some of them still talk to each other. Yeah.
The situation with Kirby was something interesting, I guess.
I find it funny that I'm.
Yeah, you're the only one who has her deets. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the only one. Well, yeah, I'm the only one that she even is willing to talk to every once in a while.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I should say like reaches out to every once in a while too, because she doesn't have your contact. She doesn't have anyone else's contact really, and just
I never really knew her honestly, so. Only in the context of knowing her through others.
Yeah, same. It's interesting how a lot of us just like, I guess
This
like,
is kind of how things go with like school ending and then people moving around to different places.
especially with that large of a friend group.
I mean, I was checked out from that one click a long time ago for reasons that have been discussed before.
Yep.
Ugh.
And then there was also like other like, our group was super big. Like
Yeah, that too.
It was like
an entire dorm complex. of
Yeah, we
people.
had like, oh, no worries, Craig. But yeah, though we had like 20 some people in our friend group when we started in freshman year.
Yep.
It's even a miracle that most of us now even stay in contact. I'm just happy that I even have some of your guys' numbers. I still have Kyle's old number on my phone.
Yeah, just to be, I don't even own that phone number anymore, so don't contact it.
No, it's funny because like you know, some people like to update their profile pictures on like certain on the networks and stuff like that. I was just like,
Yeah.
it's like, Kyle. It's like, all right. It's like I still have Kyle's number. It's like, but wait a minute. This guy's there's a picture on this. It's like, wait, what? And it's just like it was a completely different guy with I assume his girlfriend, and we're just like, okay then.
Me?
No, like your number.
Oh.
Yeah, because like some people like on the networks like to use numbers and like add profile pictures and stuff like that to said numbers, and that guy added his picture with his girlfriend on it. So I found it kind of funny. That's the one move I keep struggling to dodge. He also abuses it. I hate this sword. I hate that they force you to use a sword that I didn't want to use. I kind of wish I never bought this sword. Like, this is not the sword I equipped, and yet they forced me to use it in this fight. The sword actually absolutely blows. It's so slow and all that. I guess, like, it does the most damage and all that stuff, and even if it does the most damage, it's such a sluggish, like, thing that it's not even worth using. Okay, I dodged that. This is why I say these boss fights are so tedious and like very annoying to do, is because they have moves that are way better than you, can teleport to you, and are invincible. So like these types of like No More Heroes is such a sluggish and tedious of a game that I honestly don't like. I was okay at it at first, but its humor, its characters are really cannot save this game. To be honest, I think this game is just a mixed bag. To me, it just gets a average score.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Unfortunately, it seems to be happening with a lot of games that I kind of remember fondly. Where it's like, Psychonauts, oh dude, final level, what the fuck? No More Heroes, oh this damn final level. Conquer's Bad Fur Day, oh this game's pretty funny. Man, this game is so poorly programmed.
Well, okay, here's the thing about Conkers. I actually do appreciate it more. A lot of the final level, to be honest, I actually should go back and actually try the final level, because I was playing majority of that on my capture card. And my capture card has a slight delay, so it was really bad with the N64 with even slower like reaction time. And when I actually
remember that military level in particular, the Saving Private Ryan level.
Yeah, I actually played that with a capture card. And,
Yeah, that's rough.
And here's the thing. Oh shoot, I did the wrong way. And here's the thing. I actually tried the military level, and I actually switched while that final like level to my actual screen, the one I'm using right now, to play this one. And the difference was almost night and day for me. Like, I actually could play the final level much easier, and then the military level was also much easier to play.
I guess the way to redeem yourself is to play Conquer Live and Reloaded for Xbox.
I mean, I could, honestly.
Just to play that game. I know that game is like, the way people received it at the time was like, I mean, Live and Reloaded was basically just there to be like, to add online multiplayer for the original Xbox to Conquer.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I understand, I haven't really seen extensive gameplay of it, but a complaint that people had was that instead of like redesigning certain levels to make them like better playable, they just like removed some sections from the game altogether, which people were like, come on, man. You had the opportunity to remake that swimming level and City just removed it. That seems to be how people reacted to Live and Reloaded.
Yeah, I only played like the beginning intro, and they did add like a few, like a tutorial section and different like aspects, which they do make fun of, saying like, this did this play out differently in the original? It's like, oh yeah, oh they feel like this is necessary, blah, 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 kind of thing. Like, they make fun of like a remake kind of thing. And oh man, I hate when that he baited me. He baited me. They Live and Reload is not much. I think like the best way to redeem myself is to play the N64 version, and with my new setup with the whole like screen on one side, and then actually play the military level in full, since it's been a while. And same thing with the final level. I hate that move. If he didn't have that dashing move, this would be a lot easier. But he also has to have a dashing move that is very difficult for me to dodge, because it goes like super fast, and it's hard to react to. That one too, because my dodge is utter garbage.
I have heard people saying that the sequel to this game improved the gameplay elements and other little things, so I'm not sure how good the sequel is.
Honestly, if I had a choice, I honestly would like. I mean, I still have a choice, yes. But if I didn't feel like I should play the sequel, and since I'm playing on stream, I would honestly just have dropped this game and never touched the No More Heroes series. No matter how thought and like a better reviewed No More Heroes 3 was, and Travis's like Strikes Back kind of thing. No matter all that talk, I would not have touched this game ever again, because this is such a bad intro to a game series.
Yeah. I do know that one thing that looked a bit appealing to me, I remember just when No More Heroes 2 came out, is that instead of just having those random tasks before assassination missions, like with like picking up coconuts or whatever,
Yeah.
they replaced it with like 8-bit style, like retro mini games that looked a little bit more appealing.
That makes sense. The one thing I really don't like is some of the humor in like this game, where they make fun of certain things but ends up just failing a lot. Because like one of the bosses was like, all right, I go down the hallway and fight the same characters over and over and over again. Like, at least with the other missions, you varied between like areas, and so it was kind of fun. But this one specific level was an empty hallway, no music. It was just following one guy continuously down the hall. That's it. And it was boring. And at the very end, you don't even fight the boss. This guy ends up cutting him into two. So what ended up just feeling like it just ended up feeling like a useless level. And it was just, I get it, like it was supposed to be a gag, but that just like fell really flat. And that just like, some of the humor in this was just kind of really not great for like in the long run. I don't know if it's like people find it funny, but honestly, I find it like a more of a slap in the face, like, ha, you did all that work for nothing, kind of thing, and that's kind of very unsatisfying for a lot of gamers. This fight in particular is just really annoying. It's not unreasonable, I would say, compared to like the Shinobu fight. But definitely it's a lot more manageable than the final fight. I just have to get better at that dodging with that dash attack. I just also hate how the patterns, they choose randomly what moves to do, so it's hard to hit them properly when they have openings.
Hey, Emoto saw my thing. I was before I joined this call, like just between streams, because when you download something from Steam, the download will obviously slow down if you're watching a stream.
Come on.
I
hate the camera. What? Yep.
Oh jeez. I installed Finding Paradise onto this this current laptop, and I was just sound testing the game and everything, and making sure it'd be good to go in OBS for tomorrow morning.
Mm-hmm.
And did you just win or lose the fight?
Lose, because
oh man.
Okay, this is one thing I just finish your story. I'll tell you after.
Yeah, so I was just like sound checking, and like so I just had these like quick like sound recording clips, you know, where like a lot of what I do is just sound testing. Is all I do is just lower the volume to a certain point. I just record just me like talking while the game music is playing, and so I'm just on the title screen of Finding Paradise. I'm just talking to myself. I just recorded this one that was like 30 seconds long, and because I had talked to Emoto before about what my sound tracking process is like, I sent her the video of me being like, "Oh my god, dude, the music in this game was so loud, it's ridiculous." And it's just like a quick sound clip of me talking like that. I just DM'd it to Emoto, and she just reacted with like laughing emotes.
That's funny.
I can send you the video in DM real quick too, if you just want to like see it.
I want to see it. So, one thing about this game that I really hate is the lock-on system. So, one thing about the lock-on system is that when you go away to a certain like distance from the game, like from the character, it automatically de-locks and then turns your character around 180, which makes like going forward the same way as going backwards, kind of thing. So I go away from the character trying to run away from them, but then it also makes me go back at them when I try to run away from them. So the lock-on system also doesn't lock onto the right character. You can't choose to lock on. And the lock-on system is like, it's such a broken piece of mess. Like when you dodge, it goes like, it does its own thing, the camera, which also really hurts this game. Honestly, I would say to anybody who wants to try to get into the No More Heroes series, never touch No More Heroes 1. It just makes you hate the game, hate the series more, to be honest. I would say just rather watch a playthrough of it. This game is not like...
Just the way you just rage at these games by the end of them, it's a pattern.
Yeah.
I get it, it's frustrating, it's just kind of funny to me. This just happens by like, it's just like you start these games and you're like, oh man, I finally get to play this game, wow, it's cool, I'm gonna complete it. And by the end of the game, you're just like, man, this game's bullshit.
I mean, it is.
It's like, I don't know if you've seen like Game Grumps playing Mario 64, but it's kind of the same like arc. Where like at the beginning of the Super Mario 64 playthrough, Aaron is just like, oh man, I'm so excited, I haven't played this game in so long, wow, it's gonna be great. And by the end of the game, like in the credits, Dan is just like, so Aaron, what do you think of this game? Aaron's just like, I wish I was dead.
Yeah, see, the thing about this is that I was actually excited to try No More Heroes, because when it finally released on the Switch, I was honestly looking forward to it. I really was. It was not like, I seen some of the humor and all that stuff, and it's like, it was not my type of thing, but I've heard great things about No More Heroes. I've always heard that it was a funny, like, nice little thing, and I wanted to like, alright, with No More Heroes 3 coming out and Travis Strikes Back came out, I thought, all right, so cool. Maybe with that, it will be really fun to try. So why not just start the whole 1 and 2 series and then maybe go to Travis Strikes Back later. And so I was actually genuinely excited for this part. But when I started playing this number 1, it began to be slightly clear with some of the mechanics how outdated it was. But I thought it was not going to be that bad. Then became Shinobu. That's the start of the trend of downhill hate of this game. And that's where it became like clear that this game it's not for me. Like, this game, if I was younger, I would really hate this game. As older, I'm much better at adapting to the old mechanics, especially since like I've played so many jank games before. So it's not like out of the ordinary for me. Am I doing it the opposite way than I'm supposed to do? Because it looks I'm doing the right way and it doesn't work. Huh. But the problem is just it's for newcomers. Because I don't know if you saw Proton John's and Luca Jin's like playthrough of Banjo-Kazooie. Did you?
I have not. No. Was it like good?
I haven't seen a lot of it, but I've heard that by the end of it, Luca Jin was because Proton John played Banjo-Kazooie before. Mm-hmm. But his wife Luca Jin never played it before, so it was like first time for her. So like that, I thought that was like nice. The only problem is that what ended up happening was that she actually hated the game at the very end, from what I can tell. At least that's what Proton John has tweeted out. It's like, yeah, it's not a good game for beginners, and I actually kind of agree with that, especially with Gruntilda's End. I mean, for the most part, it's fine, but when you get to the Gruntilda's End, it just ruins the whole experience. What is this? The camera?
Yeah, I saw that. That was a bad camera. But yeah, it's just there are certain games like that is retro games that you're like used to them when you're a kid, but for a newcomer, it's like when I was playing Super Mario 64 with just how poorly some of the movements in the camera have aged in that game.
Mm-hmm.
And because Luca Jin is older than John, like her playing that, it makes sense that she probably wouldn't have played Banjo type stuff growing up.
Yep.
Because she's like as old as Nintendo San is.
Mm-hmm. And I get that. Like, I actually played Banjo-Kazooie, I'm not 100% obviously, but enough to say confidently that Banjo-Kazooie is definitely not a great game for many new gamers. Like, unless you're used to that type of style of game, it's not a game for you. And it's obviously, especially at the end where Gruntilda's lair is not a great game. Not a great end, I should say. Even the fight to Gruntilda, you saw me play that. I know you were there in the chat and everything.
Yep. Yeah.
That was not great. That was long. That was difficult. At least that was more fun than this fight. I will give that credit for that one. But that game was definitely not. This is basically how Luca Jin felt with that game. It definitely makes me feel how I feel with this game. It's not. I've heard great things about it, and I want to try to like this game. And I try to look at the best of the humor, even though it's not my type of humor. But at the same time, it's just the gameplay is what makes it breaks for me for a lot of times. Story I can make fun of, but as long as the game is fun playing wise, I can like it. I can make fun of the story and all that stuff, but I can at least enjoy the gameplay. The gameplay is fun, then I will have fun, and that's what I think the basic of a game should be, is just make the game play fun first and foremost. This game, it tries to do something unique, but ends up breaking itself as a fun game and more of a monotonous, tedious game that's hampered down by unique controls and outdated mechanics. Also, how's it going? This is my 4th attempt on this super boss. It's not impossible for me to beat. It's just more of like I'm kind of complaining about the more of the game aspect while trying to beat it, to be honest. But yeah, I was just like talking with Kyle here how some games that we've heard in the past that are great ends up being like absolutely hampered by either old mechanics or just how it's outdated and it's not doesn't really work in modern day gameplay and a lot of stuff. It doesn't work.
Like Super Mario 64 was a one that I'm really attached to, but like going back, I would probably get so angry at the camera.
Yeah, that's like what it was like when I was playing that game. Maybe I will just actually like stream that at some point and just like start over and play through it just so
I'll watch it.
to get myself to play through more of the because you know I never got around to playing the rest of that Super Mario 3D All-Stars collection and I want to at some point. It's just aside from playing Animal Crossing and Tetris 99, I just don't really set myself to playing other games very much.
I'll help you with Mars Sunshine because I did grow up with that game, so. But yeah, no, I mean, there's a different aspect to me when it comes to when old mechanics just really hurt a game nowadays, and to a point where mechanics in the game just don't work at all with anything. And this is the game that has both of old mechanics that don't really work, as well as gameplay elements that really should not have been in the game. Emphasis on these bosses being very unfair for a lot of cases. I don't think that's great. The camera on this is probably an outdated thing, which really hampers it. The camera is like, it's really hampered because a lot of the enemies, like the bosses, end up being like super fast, super annoying, super tedious, to the point where it doesn't really work. When it comes to when it comes to actually like having the camera, as long as the bosses are not like this crazy, the camera's okay. And that's more of it being a little bit outdated. But it's not the camera's fault. It's more of like the bosses at this point being very unfair and very unforgiving for a lot of players. Like, this stuff should not be this difficult unless you're going like super duper expert mode. Even then, this is not worth trying a harder difficulty. I'm on normal difficulty and I'm struggling with this guy. So I would not like, there's an expert level of this game, right? Not just hard.
Oh, there might be. I'm not sure.
Either way, this is not a. This is just one of those examples where this is a game hampered by really bad gameplay decision, and I will not defend it. Honestly, to be honest, I had more fun playing Psychonauts than this monotonous of game. At least that one made it slightly unique and it made sense. This one is just like, wait for enemy to do a attack and find the opportunity in 5 seconds, like no, not in 5 seconds, in 1 second, see if you can attack him. And even if you attack him,
Psychonauts had a lot of standing around, to be honest. Like,
yep.
Super obvious area attack.
Yeah, and then it's like
hard to avoid area attack.
And then there's also
overly intricate combination.
Yeah, and then there's also the fact that some of its attacks are super fast, faster than you can react in this game specifically. And the amount of damage you have to do is like 1 tick of a health bar, which is why I really don't like this game for its mechanics. Also, 1-hit KO moves are bullcrap. I'm honestly very surprised this game sold it well enough to even get a sequel, based on
It
how
didn't
hard.
sell very well when it came out.
I was surprised it even had a cult following enough to get a sequel, I should say then. This, to be honest, I would have been fine if this game never got a sequel. Wow, that almost killed me because of the camera.
Okay, Nick. So, I was like adding a song to a Spotify playlist.
Yeah, I see that.
I just checked back on the on a different playlist, just one of my playlists. But I just decided to check in on that one that we made with Andrew. I just saw the description he added to it.
What he did.
I'm bad at compute. Ha ha ha. Ha chama cooking. Ha chama cooking. Ha chama cooking. Ha chama cooking. And it just repeats like that like 5 more times. I'm not sure what
Yeah,
that's a reference to, but I feel like we should like add more to that playlist again.
I will probably, but that's like one of my least of my worries right now.
Yeah, I know. Gosh, if this soundtrack is on Spotify for No More Heroes,
Dude,
I
if
just
that,
throw it into the Spotify playlist just to upset you.
I would be so upset. It's like if I listen to that soundtrack and then suddenly a No More Heroes song comes on, I would just be like, Kyle, why?
It's just the whole sound. That's like I composed the next soundtrack for the next
Oh my
game.
god. If you make that, I would actually just be like, no, James, you're getting muted.
No,
It does not appear that the soundtrack for this game is on Spotify, but for some reason somebody made a playlist called No More Heroes, the official unofficial soundtrack. But it has songs from like The Offspring and Blink-182 and Foo Fighters. It looks more like a Tony Hawk playlist than No More Heroes.
Makes sense.
I don't know why they put like all those pop punk songs in there.
I mean, it's probably because it's similar to how No More Heroes is.
Maybe they had licensed songs in the later No More Heroes games. I don't know.
If they have licensed songs, then I
But
can't really
no,
play No More
thankfully
Heroes
for
2.
you, Nick, the No More Heroes soundtrack is not on Spotify.
I am happy. But then again, there's probably some... Is there somebody out there who made a cover of No More Heroes?
Probably is on YouTube or something.
Oh my god, that is such a long fight. That literally took me like 30 minutes to just finish that.
Oh my god. I like how Never Gonna Give You Up was already in that playlist. I just didn't realize.
I'm just gonna read this, because I really don't care.
Why the hell do you call me Travis? Travis, like you're my friend or something. Who the fuck do you think you are?
Travis, is this like supposed to be Japanese where it's like, oh yeah, don't call me by my first name?
What are you talking about? I'm your twin brother.
Twin brother? What?
That's the craziest shit I've ever heard.
Why do they keep throwing this random stuff?
Very last minute of the game.
What, Travis has a twin,
Yeah, he has a stepsister and a twin.
Twist of fate of some kind. What?
step twin.
Yep.
Where's Sylvia anyway? She disappeared without a trace.
Not that that's possible.
Where the hell is she?
Mm-hmm.
You mean my wife?
What? Wife?
Yes, you know. Spouse, soulmate, Henry's wife. Get the idea?
When did you two get married?
Oh, about 10 years ago. Yeah, that's right. Because we were both in college at the time.
Oh, shit! All news to me. I'm gonna need shock treatment to get over this one.
I'm sorry for all the trouble my wife has caused you.
Is he Irish? I'm sorry that...
Trouble, all right, but it helped me clear up a lot of things.
Ah, you know how women are. Especially my wife. A really big...
He is Irish.
She knew my income wasn't...
Look at the Irish.
Every now
Kyle,
and
he's
then,
related
she'd
to you.
just disappear.
She's
I'm actually from Ireland.
good woman.
What? Are you telling me that you and her...
Oh, come on.
But Travis, my brother, we're similar in many ways.
Oh, you're like you're facing the same dude still. Yeah.
You're right. Suddenly you being my brother doesn't sound so awkward.
Let me ask you, how do you plan to put an end to all of this?
Wait a sec.
So that means Travis part Irish.
Loose ends? I don't think so. You're the
He's a bit Irish, eh?
Yeah, he's very Irish, eh?
Handsome foil who happens to be
Someone needs
Top of the
like
morning to you.
say it.
top of the morning to you, laddie.
I want to bail. But where the hell's the exit?
Top of the morning to you, laddie. This is Jacksepticeye.
This is Jacksepticeye. Let's go.
All I can do is keep running.
Then let's find that exit they call paradise.
Please tell me I don't have to play this game more. I just have to watch a cutscene. That's the ending? This is the ending,
Was it as
Kyle.
disappointing as you hoped for?
Oh yeah, that's right.
This is kind of disappointing.
You're so upset, Nick. Please play a game to cool down.
I'm gonna play Metroid to cool down for sure. I played fighters, grinded all day. I was upset at that, and this one super made me a little bit upset. This made me upset. This is just gonna be called a upset stream at this point. The health bar barely goes
You
down.
need
It's
some orange juice, Nick.
I think I need some orange juice. Please send me some. All right. First off, review-wise, I did mention kind of rambling through this entire fight, but biggest complaint: this game is not for anybody who wants to get like first timers. Like this, I feel like if anybody wants to get in, they should probably get into the second one. If I heard correctly, if it's like actually better. The humor and violence are kind of weird to me. It's not my type of humor, so I won't give it docket points because of that. It's just really not my type of adult humor and everything. It's just weird. I think like a lot of the design decisions, the constant reuse of voices was annoying. It's monotonous on like killing people. It ups the difficulty with a lot of bosses, and a lot of bosses are more tedious than anything. Heck, I think my favorite fight, to be honest, Kyle, was the guy that shot the like his lasers out of his nipples at the end.
Oh yeah.
Like that guy was actually my favorite because I would actually go with the magician guy because actually that was really cool. But every time he changed, it would turn the camera upside down and actually make me a little sick and nauseated because I would get disoriented really fast. And he would do that constantly. My problem is a lot of these fights, especially the last one, are tedious. You stand around, you wait, watch the pattern, and attack. It doesn't go fast. It slows. The lock-on system is absolutely garbage a lot of time. It only goes with so far, and then it just like it doesn't lock on to the exact one you want, and you can't change it unless you let go, and you have to hold it all the time. And then there's also the fact that if the lock-on system stops locking on, the camera immediately goes behind Travis's. It doesn't stay focused on the said character. It immediately goes behind Travis, making Travis, if you're going the opposite direction of the character, if it goes behind Travis, then you hold, instead of holding forward, you hold back, going back towards the character. It changes up the camera so much. The camera was absolutely one of the garbage mechanics of this because it's hindered by how limited it is. And the fact of the matter is that the animations also get you the hit stun easily. The dodge system is absolute garbage a lot of the time. I think, and it's just like some of the levels were just like really not necessary. Like as I said, the 5th ranked assassin was absolutely just, I don't like it. I really don't like that one. So honestly, rating this on the scale, if I were to play this when it was out at the time, probably would get a 6.5 to like 7. 7 would be like very pushing it for me. More like a 6.5. But this game right now, I honestly think for any newcomers, it's like definitely a no-go for a lot of people. I would say if you want to get into this game, just watch it. Just watch it. It's not worth getting. It's not worth playing. This game has not aged well, and a lot of mechanics is not great. So I would say on this one's probably like a 4. To me, it's not great. I really want to try to like this game, but it really just made me hate this game in the end. It's monotonous, it's tedious, and a lot of things were just rough. I'm just hoping the sequel is a lot better, as what people say. So.
You like this painting, don't you? Let's go, Jean.
Jean? That's Jean, the girl I cut up. What's his relationship with Sylvia now?
I know. Too bad there won't be a sequel.
Screw you. I am actually relieved that I finally beat this game for once. Like this, I was okay at the beginning. The Shinobu fight was frustrating, but at least it was mostly okay for that. But when it got to the very end, the last few fights, it just ended up just being more monotonous, grindy, and I ended up just is that Back to the Future? It's Back to the Future.
Oh, it totally is. Yeah, yeah. Those kinds of like '80s movie nostalgia seems to be a big thing in Japan now because Japan is like 30 years behind the rest of the world, and so like in like the late 2000s and throughout the 2010s, it seems that those '80s Hollywood movies are becoming popular in Japan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was playing the I think I was playing mild. So I wonder if I can watch the ending. What made you play this game? Because Kyle mentioned playing this game. I've heard about it, and I heard like decent things about it, which is why I went into playing it. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted to play this game, because it was just like it's a cult classic. I mean, I'm glad I finally got to play it. Am I satisfied with it? It's out of all the games that I heard about, it's definitely my least favorite. I don't know if I played Sweet. I don't even know if I played Sweet. How do I pick file select? I want to see the the other ending. Is there no way to check the other ending?
I am not sure.
It looks like it. It's like you don't even get to play the even see the other ending. I didn't even get to see the other ending. Did you think this you would enjoy it the more than you did? I thought I definitely would enjoy it more than I did. That's for sure. I definitely thought it would be a lot more fun. But I guess it just ended up just being hodgepodge mess of just me being frustrated at it at the end. So unfortunately, I think it's just what ended up just happening was, yeah, because for example, like Kyle, like the ones you listed that you played, I've played right now. So far I've played like out of the games that you've played as a child, like Psychonauts, Conkers, and No More Heroes. I'm not counting.
Well, I've never played Conquer. It's just I am familiar with the game.
Okay. I know I haven't played Earthbound. I do want to try to play it, even though I've seen the entire playthrough of it twice. What other games have I played that you've played?
They're like childhood games. I mean,
Yeah.
like, Pokemon Emerald, the Paper Mario games.
Yeah. Pokemon yeah.
Other than that, I feel like I'd probably have to look through a list of all the games you have played, because you've gone through quite a lot.
Yeah. Well, out of like some of the ones I've heard and I've always wanted to try for a long time, No More Heroes is definitely the least favorite game I've ever played that I've heard great things about, and I wanted to play. Psychonauts, I've heard great things about, and while I did get frustrated by a lot of the old dated mechanics, that's just because it's dated. I still enjoyed it for the most part. I got the humor. It was nice. It was simple. It was straightforward. It wasn't too frustrating with a lot of the fights. It was just the platformers and platforming and all that stuff was kind of bad, and even the devs agree with that. So that game was fine. But then when it came to Conkers, I got frustrated by like the military and the final level. But as I said before, it's because of my capture card, where it's a slight delay, and especially with the N64, it kind of requires a little bit more precise inputs, because if you do even the slightest delay, it costs you a lot, which it costed me a lot with the final fight. And when I finally switched over to an on-screen, on-time things, it was a lot better. It was actually more enjoyable for me in that regard. Pokemon Emerald is...
Sorry, I need to snip something real quick. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Is this the way this dude makes an entrance?
Wait, is some guy in Grace's stream again?
Yeah,
Yes.
I see it right now.
Hello, I hate you for being beautiful to me.
By the way, you look like Adam Driver with that haircut. That's cute
I
as
don't know
heck.
who Adam Driver is, but...
Star Wars, he was Kylo Ren. If you
Here,
know.
James, can you join me in a come on, bro?
Someone came on Twitch's,
I'll join you. Wait, that's...
they were trying to express that they, like, English was not their first language, and they said, sorry, my English is not wealthy. And I'm like, that's one way to say it.
How do you say come on, bro?
That's probably just a mistranslation of the word they'd use for it in their own language.
Yeah.
There we go. Of course, it's a compliment. He is considered to be one of the most handsome modern actors by Reddit girls. That's like that's a weird comment to
The come on, bro, brigade marches in. Grace is gonna look over and be like, "What are you guys doing?"
Mm-hmm. But yeah, going back to No More Heroes. Yeah, I don't like it a lot. I will continue. So that's my kind of like my review of No More Heroes. And I wish I can enjoy it,
She didn't
but
get it.
yeah, I wish I like it, but the first game of the series is definitely not a good intro for me. If I really had to choose, I'm kind of leaning on to never just play the rest of the No More Heroes series, to be honest, because after that sour note of the first one, it just kind of ruined a lot of it. I really don't like it. But I've heard from Krogan, and I've heard that, and Kyle has mentioned, the second one has improved a lot. If it at least improves a lot of the mechanics to a point where it's not that frustrating and I enjoy it for what it is, then I would say I'll give the series a chance again. But if the second of the games does not do it, I will just end up just saying, no, this series is not for me. I'm not doing it again, kind of thing. That's the unfortunate part, but I will do the sequel. It's not anytime soon, because I need a break from that after the whole frustration of this first one is. I will watch the ending and like the stepsister history backstory a little bit, just because I am a little bit curious, but for now it's